is Georgia Bulldogs football on the Superstations. Between the hedges and across the state, this is where the dogs play.
Man, if there's going to be some property destroyed tonight.
I want us to go out and execute, do the things we got to do, play to our standard, and go play fast.
15-0, the Dogs have done it and won a second consecutive national title.
The Dogs kept the win streak alive against the Tigers.
Once he goes, whoa, he drives towards the goal line. Touchdown, Bullets. Rush up the middle and sack. C.J. Allen with a sack. Arnold never had a chance to blink.
Now, a battle-tested Ole Miss comes to Athens for a top 10 battle.
We need the best atmosphere we've ever had in Sanford Stadium. The challenge has been issued for our fan base to be extremely difficult for them to communicate and do things offensively that they do.
Georgia, Ole Miss, live from Sanford Stadium. This is Georgia football.
From Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium, let's get it on!
On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, welcome to play-by-play coverage of Georgia football. Bulldogs football is brought to you by Zaxby's, Who's Got the Sauce? Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Pruitt Health, family makes us stronger. Hoffman Financial Group, helping build your financial dynasty. Modelo Especial, the official import beer of your Georgia Bulldogs. For 21 and up only. Please drink responsibly. By Barbasol, America's #1 shaving cream. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol. Sponsored by Aetna Medicare. Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. And by Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, to the Piedmont Healthcare broadcast booth, alongside former Bulldog Josh Brock. Here's the voice of the Bulldogs, Scott Howard.
All right, welcome back. 78 degrees, sunshine in Athens. Almost ready for the coin toss. We'll be throwing it down to DJ Shockley on the field here in a matter of moments. The captains are already out of the locker room. They are on the sidelines. Georgia's captains today: Quintavious Johnson, London Humphreys, Oscar Delp, and Dalen Everett. And the Dogs, of course, will be in red jerseys, silver breeches, and red helmets. Ole Miss all in white today, with the exception of the blue helmets, kind of that powder blue, a little bit of a darker shade of that than what their uniforms are normally when they wear those. But they're in all white with blue numbers today. Tops and bottoms are all white. So they match and we've striped the stadium today. They've done a pretty good job. The middle of the stadium is white. The north stands are black, and the south stands are red. So it's got to look good from above as the Dogs come out of the locker room and head to the near sideline, and the captains approach the middle of the field for the coin toss. It's brought to you today by Georgia's own credit union, banking on purpose. Let's throw it down on the field to DJ Shockley and check in on the coin toss.
All right, fellas, about to get it done. They shake a little hands in, and we're going to let them get going here.
This is your umpire, Ryan Alls. This side is heads. This side is tails. Hold this. You were the visitor. What is your call? Tails. The call is tails. It is tails. You want to defer. Which way you want to kick?
All right, fellas, the Dogs will get the ball first. Ole Miss won the toss. They said they're going to defer to the second half, so Dogs get a chance to start fast in this one to get going. Now, everything that's been talked about already has been about being fast and free. Both sides of the ball talked about being fast and free, but free is playing for the guys that's in there. All those guys with the red shirts on. Offensively, they want to be aggressive today. They want to take shots. They want to be the team that takes the fence and takes it to them. Defensively, all they talked about was hunting. One of their big keys in the game was elite eyes because of what Ole Miss does, but they also want to own the trenches. They say, we own the trenches, we win this ball game. Big-time environment. Boys are ready to go, fellas.
Shock, it is deer season if you're going hunting. I don't know if it's rebel season. Let's hope it is today, but we shall see. And it is closing in on time to kick it off between the hedges. It is time to tee it up. Opening kickoff powered by Georgia Power. Georgia Power, we're here for the win. Georgia Power is here for you. And Josh, we'll have the ball first, and our offensive line continues to be a little banged up. We had some guys that didn't get all the practice reps this week, but we may see them play today anyway.
Yeah, but it was good to hear that Ernest Green was able to get at least some snaps in practice this week to get himself back in shape today. Maybe we see him because of that today. Monroe Freeling, as expected, didn't get many snaps at all and this week. He needed to rest that ankle, but he's the most experienced of this Georgia offensive line. So I'll tell you, he probably didn't need the practice reps. It was probably best for him to rest, let someone else get the physical reps, and let him get the mental reps in the game prep. But also, too, we know that those reps help a player like Juan Gaston, being a true freshman, having been a true freshman starter at one point, key contributor too. Those reps in practice during the week are critical.
And Monroe Freeling, the SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week. How about that for his performance at Auburn? Let's check in for the field conditions with Shock again, brought to you by Greenpoint Ag. Farmer-owned, locally focused. We are Greenpoint Ag. Shock, what can you tell us about the field right now?
The field is pretty good outline, but, it's getting late in the year, so it's starting to get a little bit of a little traffic down here, but it's good, though. I was just over here talking to Malik Starks, who's on the sideline, Quan Smith, who's on the sideline, talking to Dalen Everett. The guys are locked in and they ain't even playing. They want to be out here. But the field does look great. It looks like a fast surface, and we're going to have a great day of ball.
All right, Shock, thank you very much. We're in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth watching Lucas Carnero kick it off from left to right for Ole Miss. Zachariah Branch is the deep man, and this one will sail well over the back line of the end zone, almost hit the hedge in the east end zones there from Carnero's kick. Georgia will have the touchback and have the football first at their own 25-yard line. Georgia football brought to you in part by Modelo today, the official import beer of your Georgia Bulldogs. Grab a refreshing Modelo Especial brewed for full-time Bulldogs fans. For 21 and up only, please drink responsibly.
And just as we just mentioned, getting a start this afternoon, Ernest Green, Monroe Freeling in there at left tackle.
And we got Glover at the guard next to Green. The first play will be a pass to Zachariah Branch as Gunner fires for a completion at the 32-yard line. Branch crumples under the pressure of Perkins, one of the edge guys, and Antonio Kite, the cornerback on this near sideline. But the gain is 7 up to the 32-yard line. They'll make it 2nd down and 3. Dogs go fast with the running game this time. They carry it straight ahead with Nate Frazier, who's getting the start today, the sophomore from Compton, California. Straight up the hash for a Scana Energy first down. Jaden Yates, middle linebacker, made the tackle, and they'll spot the ball down at the 39-yard line. A quick 7-yard burst for Frazier, and the Dogs have it 1st and 10 on their own 39.
Jaden Yates made the tackle, but Nate Frazier made him pay for it, but he absolutely planted him on the Dooley Field turf. Chauncey Bowers, the lone setback. Gunner's gone under center. 7 men across the front on that line of scrimmage. Handed off to Bowens. He pitches it back to Gunner for a little flea flicker action. It's caught by Colby Young on the far sideline around the 32-yard line. They'll tackle him from behind at where are they going to spot him? At the 27-yard. Now they've moved it back to the 29-yard line, but that's a Scana Energy first down. Flea flicker, it was a great, very well defense from Ole Miss, but what a tremendous throw from Gunner Stockton. Couldn't have placed it any better in the hands of Colby Young. Huge play for the Dogs on this first drive.
Well, the side judge spotted it on the 29. Now they've moved it up to the 25, so it's a 36-yard gain for Georgia on the Ole Miss 25-yard line. Shotgun snap to Stockton. He turns and hands it to Nate Frazier. He veers to the right, running towards the numbers, and will be stopped as he crosses the line of scrimmage at the 24-yard line. It's only a pickup of 1 as Ole Miss stopped him on that right edge. And they'll force the 2nd down and 9 now for the Bulldogs as Georgia's moving on their first possession a couple of minutes into the first quarter. Young came out of the game a little bit injured. We'll check on him. Play fake Stockton. He throws. Back shoulder throw and catch made by Noah Thomas inside the 10. Flags are down on the play. And it might be offensive pass interference. We shall see. Thomas made the catch, and they stopped him at the 6. But the flag is thrown at the 13, and it may be a penalty coming against the Dogs.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both of them against the offense. The eligible player downfield, number 56. That penalty is declined. Offensive pass interference, number 5. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, second down.
And Noah Thomas did get his hands extended. I know they've been allowing the receivers and corners to play physical this year in the SEC, but you can't extend your arms. When they see a receiver extend their arms and the cornerback react on that, they're going to throw that flag.
Referee today is Daniel Gotro, 15-yarder against the Dogs. We're back on the Ole Miss 39-yard line. It's second down and 24. Colby Young has come out of the game and gone into the injury tent for Georgia. We'll follow what's going on with him as the Dogs hit Branch on a short pass to the left. Inside the numbers, he tries to shake away from the defenders, but Ole Miss will make the tackle right at the line of scrimmage with Cam Franklin, their very talented defensive end. No gain on the play. Now it's going to be 3rd and a mile. They give him a yard. 3rd and 23, they call it. The ball just inside the Ole Miss 39-yard line, and we'll call it the 38 and a half. Cash Jones checks in on 3rd down. We send Lucky in motion to the right. And we hand it off to Cash straight down the hash mark on the run on 3rd and long. And we punch it inside the 35, tackled at the 33 and a half by T.J. Daughtery, the linebacker. And he's the Ole Miss leading tackler this season. So that'll be 4th and 19. The penalty really hurt this possession. We'll go reaching for a long field goal here with Peyton Woodring to try to get the Dogs on the board first. They'll spot it down on the 41, near hash, kicking left, a 51-yard try for Woodring. He made a 53-yarder at Auburn last week. Here we go, snap, hold, kick on the way. It's got good distance. Does it have the accuracy? You bet it does. Good. 51-yard kick by Peyton Woodring. He's done it again, and with that good kick, the good hands at Allstate will contribute to the Georgia Bulldogs Athletic Scholarship Funds for student athletes across all sports. Thank you to Allstate. Georgia with a 3-0 lead, 11:05 to go first quarter. Ole Miss gets the ball when we come back. Our first quarter. They slide him in motion to the slot to the right. Snap back to Chambliss in the shotgun. He'll throw it out in the right flat to Lacey, the running back. Makes the catch with a head of steam inside the 10, dragged down on the sideline around the 7 or the 8-yard line. Another tackle for C.J. Allen, and the gain's about 5, and it's going to be goal to go as they pick up the 3rd down conversion. Goal to go on the Georgia 7. Ole Miss trying to go in and take the lead. Hand off to Lacey, and Lacey bounces out left, breaks away from a tackle by Aguero, stays on his feet to the 5. He got about 2 more yards after contact, originally by Joe Nell, and then was stopped by K.J. Bolden on the 5-yard line.
Aguero met Lacey in the hole, but didn't bring the leather with him. Got planted.
Just kind of slid right down his body.
Sure did.
Yeah, Lacey's a load at 5'11" and 210, the transfer from Missouri. Can you imagine if he was at Missouri with Hardy in that backfield now? I mean, it's nasty as it is for the Tigers, but it would be even more so.
Kristen Miller back in for the Dogs at defensive tackle.
That's good news. Logan Diggs has checked into the backfield for Ole Miss. And Chambliss is trying to get him in position. They run out of the pistol. He'll play fake, keep it. Ball's on the ground. He fumbled the football, but the quarterback fell on it for Ole Miss. That ball was spinning around sideways on the grass, and Georgia had a man dive for it. It came out on the mesh, trying to hand it off to Logan Diggs, and Chambliss dropped it, but he fell back on it. On the 7-yard line, Ja'Cory Thomas was right there trying to get to it. But Chambliss had the advantage. So Ole Miss dodges one there. It's 3rd and goal from the 7.
Ole Miss has lost 4 fumbles on the season. Bad quarterback, running back exchange there.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left, and Diggs in the backfield. They work out of the shotgun on 3rd and goal. On the 7, pressure from the edges. Chambliss escapes. He's running left. He escapes again at the 5, gets inside the pylon for a touchdown. We had 2 cracks at him, Chris Cole and Raylan Wilson, and neither linebacker could get him down. Touchdown Ole Miss, and they take the lead 6-3. 7-yard run, or 5-yard run, excuse me. No, it was 7, right? After the fumble, it was 7.
Can't miss the dead to right sack in the pocket, guys. That's just not going to be something the Dogs are going to be able to do and expect to have success today. When you get a free shot at him, you got to get him on the ground.
Lucas Carnero for the point after try for the Rebels into the east end zone. And the kick is up, and it is good, and it is 7-3. The Rebels take the lead. Well, they had a shorter field to work with because after we scored the field goal, we kicked it out of bounds, and they started at the 35. They chew up some clock, and they keep the ball for a long time. 14 plays. They cover the 65 yards in 5 minutes and 18 seconds of game time. And Chambliss scores on the 7-yard touchdown run. That's his 4th rushing touchdown of the season to take the 7-3 lead. Visit your local Toyota dealers for great offers on trucks during Truck Month. Truck like you truck in a 2025 Toyota Tacoma and Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
Scott, the bottom line is we've seen too many 14-play drives this season, no matter the yardage gained. I feel like that's at least the 10th 14-play drive our defense has given up in the early portions of football games.
There have been a bunch.
It's not really 10, but that's just what it feels like.
Carnero to kick it away left to right towards the east end zone. And that's a high, spinning, booming kick. And Branch won't even look at it. He just walks off the goal line, starts trotting towards the sideline as the offense comes onto the field. Zachariah will apparently not be in the huddle for this first snap from the 25-yard line. Georgia will take the touchback, go back to work. They trail now 7-3. See if they can do something about that here on this possession. In the shotgun with Frazier in the backfield to his left. We run the tight end Delp in motion. Pump fake to the flat. Pump fake again and throw it back to the flat. Almost picked off as we tried to go to Dylan Bell around the 21-yard line. And they had Antonio Kite that was anticipating that throw. Dove for the ball, but just knocked it incomplete. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. That was a dangerous pass play as Gunner had a couple of pump fakes in there, Josh, but really couldn't find a guy he wanted to go to.
Yeah, Ole Miss had 3 defenders amongst 2 receivers for the Dogs. That's why he didn't let it fly.
Dogs on the 25, 2nd down and 10. They hand it off out of the shotgun to Nate Frazier. Frazier will stutter step up close to the 30, and that's where the pile begins, and then the drive of the pile starts after that for about another 2 yards to the 32-yard line. Big Micah Morris up in there leading the charge for Georgia on the left side of that offensive line. Got 7 from Nate Frazier. It's 3rd and 4. They call it a 6-yard gain. Ball just across the 31-yard line. 3 receivers to the right for Gunner, 1 to the left. Drew Bobo talking to his line mates there as he snaps the football back in the shotgun. Gunner with time, going to run it now to the 30, 35, dives across the 35 to the 37-yard line. They'll bring it back a yard, spot him on the 36, but Gunner picks up the Scana Energy first down on the 4-yard run.
Good job picking up the 3rd down. We missed the opportunity to pick up a 3rd down in the first drive because we were way behind the chains. Ole Miss chose to drop 8 in coverage that time. Gunner nowhere to throw. Good job with his legs.
1st and 10 Dogs on the 36. Chauncey Bowens checks in the backfield for the Dogs. We put Bell out to this near side, and Humphreys in tight to the right. And we got a couple of tight ends. We'll throw to one. Delp, he goes up high, gets clobbered in the back, and the ball high off his fingertips and incomplete. He took a shot in the high back right below his helmet from Wydette Williams, the nickelback, as that pass from Gunner was a little bit high and out of his reach, and Delp has come to the sidelines.
Love the read by Gunner that time. Right out of the read option, pulled it out of the running back's belly. That's the run-pass option that we like. The tight end streaking up the middle of the field just couldn't connect.
A little too high on the throw. Bowens out of the pistol now. Bunch formation to the right. Elias Williams, the tight end, in, and we'll run it with Chauncey. Bowens angles at right tackle. He's hit at the 42, the 43. We moved the pile up to the 45-yard line. Chauncey Bowens not easily going down up to the 45. That's a gain of 9. It's very short of the first down, however. We line up quickly and just push it straight ahead and get the first down. We only needed less than half a yard, and the Dogs with Gunner just keep it and dive straight ahead for the first down.
Love the mix of the play calls so far early on in this game, and good to see Chauncey Bowens with that leg drive, Scott. We weren't sure how much he'd be able to play this week, but he seems perfectly healthy so far.
They need him today. He's in the game right now. 3 receivers to the left side of the offense. Georgia moving from right to left here in the first quarter, trailing 7-3. Shotgun snap. Gunner fires it out to Branch. He's got blocking. Now he's trying to make men miss, which he's doing over midfield and into Ole Miss territory. Boy, you just can't get that guy on the ground either.
Well, he can't get him on the ground, but also, too, just a tremendous run. This just shows you the skill that he has. He's setting up the block of London Humphreys, starts to go wide. The defender sees that, rushes over the top, and then jump cuts back inside. Zach's just tremendous with the ball in his hand.
Finally tackled at the Ole Miss 44 by Chris Graves, an 8-yard gain. It's second down and a couple for the Dogs in Rebel territory. Bowens out of the pistol behind Stockton. Gunner hands it to him. Chauncey goes low right down the hash, the 40, maybe a yard shy of that, but he gets the first down. They're going to mark him at the 41. He got 3 and a first. Xavier Harris, the big giant in the middle of that defensive line at 6'8" and 330 from Canton, Mississippi, made the tackle on Bowens. Bobo and Glover, key to the block there for that 3-yard first down run.
I can't stress enough how easy it makes third down conversions when you have success on first and second down.
Dogs moving steadily, trailing 7-3, getting late in the first quarter, approaching the 2-minute mark remaining. Play fake. Stockton, they fake the reverse as well. Throw a back shoulder, a diving catch by Lucky. What a catch. And a great adjustment by Lawson Lucky, unguarded on this near sideline at the 28 as he dives to the ground trying to catch that ball. He had to move his whole body. He had to flip his body around, Josh, just to make that back shoulder catch.
Lucky, tremendous play.
28-yard line, 13-yard pickup, first down Georgia. Play fake on the sweep. Now Gunner will throw it out to Frazier with a blocker on the right edge. They drag him down. Might be a horse collar. Flags come in from all over the place at the 27, 28-yard line.
Definitely a horse collar there. Elias Williams out front, lead blocking.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense, number 26. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. First down.
Daniel Gautreau, the referee, and that was Taj Chambers, one of the linebackers, a transfer from Missouri State that made that horse collar tackle, and that's going to put the Dogs inside the Massey Ferguson red zone for the first time. Massey Ferguson, born to farm, built to perform. The penalty marked off to the Ole Miss 13-yard line. First and goal on the Rebel 13.
Scott, Ole Miss has 47 penalties on the year. I'd put that in the undisciplined category.
I agree with you. They're crowding the box right now, though. They've got 4 down linemen and 4 right behind him. Play fake Stockton. He rolls to the right. Hits Delp, who's back in after he took a shot earlier on the right sideline. Oscar Delp with a nice catch and then out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Suntarian Perkins was right there with him, forcing him into the boundary. But down to the 6 for a 7-yard gain. It'll be second down, and they've got to get it inside the 4 for a first down. And they just need about 6 yards for a touchdown. 45 seconds to go first quarter.
Love the design rollout that time from Gunner.
Under center now with Cash Jones, the lone setback. Lucky in motion to the right, toss sweep to Cash. Looks like he wants to throw. Runs into a crowd on that short side of the field, and Ole Miss going to eat him up. Xavier Harris just gobbled up Cash and had him as a delicious snack back at the 11 or 12-yard line. So we lose yardage on that play. Back to the 11, loss of 5. It looked like Cash wanted to throw, Josh, into the end zone, but he didn't have the option. Third down now, 3rd and 8 for the Dogs. Back on the Ole Miss 11. And Georgia just may let the time run out here in the quarter and work on the other end of the field, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So first quarter comes to an end, and Georgia Dogs on the doorstep here, trying to regain the lead if they can punch it in the end zone. They trail 7-3 after one quarter of play. We've got a time here at Sanford Stadium. Our first half today presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck. There's only one call, that's all.
This first down here on 3rd and 8. We did talk about previously, it makes it so much easier to pick up third downs when you're successful on 1st and 2nd. That previous second down play, nobody really knew what was going on. Got to get this first down, though.
You're not kidding. Split backfield right now. Jones to the left, Branch to the right. Stockton stands between them. Now Branch motions left, and Stockton pump fakes to him, throws to the end zone, wide open, Lucky, touchdown! Spinning wide open catch in the left corner of the end zone to put the Dogs back in front.
Love the confusion that particular pass route tree did to the Ole Miss defense. Everyone lost and lucky. Man, that's a tongue twister right there.
Say that 3 times.
Lost and lucky there, and just absolute delivered on the money from Gunner. Great pass and catch.
Did he make it a little more challenging on himself, trying to spin and find the ball and adjust and catch it all in one motion?
I don't know. We've seen him helicopter to make other catches. That's easy compared to some of the ones we've seen him make this year.
Here's the important fact. He caught it, and the Dogs have regained the lead. And here's the point after try by Peyton Woodring. And the kick is up and right into the white shirts in the east end zone, and Georgia has the lead 10-7. That Georgia touchdown brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Georgia Bulldogs. 11-yard touchdown pass. Gunner to Lawson Lucky puts the Dogs in front. We've got a time here in the early seconds of the second quarter. Our first half today presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck, there's only one call, that's all. CallKen.com, the website. 10-7, Georgia in front on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for
Myers, Florida, and he's forced into the boundary on the far side of the field at the 5, a gain of 25. And it's goal to go again for Ole Miss on the Georgia 5-yard line. 11 and a half minutes remaining first half. First and goal on the Dogs 5. Rebels moving to the west end zone out of the pistol. Snap back to Chambliss. He'll hand it to Lacey, and Lacey runs through one tackler and almost got through Bolden, but they're going to mark him down just shy of the goal line. So he got 4 plus some change, and the nose of the football about 6 inches from the goal line now after that run by Kewan Lacey. Second and goal from inside the 1 for the Rebels, trying to go in front again. Work out of the shotgun. They snap it back, hand it to Lacey, and he's in. Touchdown. It's hard to keep that guy out of the end zone when you're only 6 inches away. And he went right up the middle and into the end zone for the score. So Ole Miss leads it again. Now it's 13-10 with the point after coming.
Lacey definitely a downhill force when he's running the football. Previous play was an old school counter. Didn't quite get into the end zone. Georgia lost sight of him again. And of course, we heard Coach Smart tell Chalk that, eye discipline is going to be a key to this game defensively. So far, the Bulldogs not doing a good job with their eyeballs.
Lucas Carnero for the point after try. And the kick is up, and it is good into the net. And Ole Miss has a 14-10 lead. 65 yards on the drive again after we kick it out of bounds. In 10 plays and 4 minutes and 3 seconds. So we've got a time. Green and Gaston on the right side of the line for Georgia. Stockton wants to throw. He's got tons of time now. He'll step up and roll to the right, and a sliding out-of-bounds catch on the right side, sliding on his backside. London Humphreys went feet first right into the Georgia sideline at the 36-yard line, an 11-yard gain and a first down. Nifty catch by London Humphreys, who caught it in the shade, sliding feet up right into friendly territory.
Good scramble drill from Humphreys there. Just continued on his route across the field there, Scott.
From our 36, we motion Delp out to the left and hand it off to Frazier the opposite way. Nate patiently running behind his big offensive line. And he'll see a little bit of a seam and duck in there for a handful of yards to the 39, tackled by Jamarius Brown, one of their defensive tackles. He got 3 to the 39. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Dogs.
Looks like Dontrell Glover's in at left guard now that Gaston is in at right guard. We know Micah's been dealing with a little bit of a shoulder bum this year, doing the best he can.
And we got Dwight Phillips in the backfield. Gunner goes under center, fakes the toss sweep, sets up and throws down the middle of the field, and too high, incomplete. Trying to go to, was that Noah Thomas? Yeah, he was trying to find Thomas down the seam, and the pass a little too high, even for the 6'5" Noah Thomas, jumping up in the air with his arms extended, still went sailing over everybody's head, incomplete.
Good thing he did overthrow it, Scott, because the safety did go with our receiver on the right side, but deked Gunner, came back across the middle of the field. It's a good thing that Gunner did overthrow that. It would have been picked off.
3rd and 7 for the Dogs on our 39. Bowens in the backfield now with Stockton. Handoff Chauncey. Big hole. Chauncey 45 over midfield 50 to the Ole Miss 45, and they tackle him around the 44-yard line. Just a sudden burst by Chauncey Bowens for the first down and more. And it was Gushikin, the nickelback, and Perkins, the edge rusher, that made the tackle downfield, but it was a Scana Energy first down for the Dogs. Moved the sticks, put the Dogs down on the Ole Miss 44-yard line. Here we go. Man in motion to the left. That's Delp. He'll line up on the left side, and we'll run it to the right with Bowens just putting a hand on those big linemen's backs and trying to steer his way through a hole, but Ole Miss just jammed it up with 5 shirts right there. And they stopped Chauncey at the 45-yard line. He didn't get anything. He may have lost 6 inches. Cam Franklin, the defensive end, sophomore from Mississippi, made the stop. So the Dogs on the 45. He did lose a yard, 2nd and 11. Officials are holding up play. Ole Miss with a late substitution after Georgia subbed. Dogs snap it to Gunner. He fakes the sweep left, throws it over the middle. It's caught by Bell. He makes one man miss at the 30. Down the hash to the 25, the 24-yard line. Gushikin made the tackle in the Ole Miss secondary. 21 yards and a first down for the Dogs.
Gunner threaded the needle there, Scott, just out of the reach of the outstretched hands of the Ole Miss safety in the middle of the field.
Bell did a little nice work after the catch as well. Cash Jones in the backfield, so is Dylan Bell. He's going to get the handoff running left with blocking, but from behind he's brought down on a nice play by Sage Ryan, the safety, a transfer from LSU. Caught number 86 by his leg from behind and drags him down at the 22. Only a 2-yard gain. Boy, he had some blocking in front, just not any behind him.
Yeah, he did. Monroe just lost contain of his guy a little bit and was able to get the tackle after a small gain.
2 yards, and it's 2nd and 8 for the Dogs on the Ole Miss 22. It's 14-10. Rebels leading here in the second quarter. Snap it to Gunner. He play fakes. Oh, he dinks the man and runs down the hash. Now he's angling towards the goal line. Touchdown running, standing up. Gunner Stockton as they push him across the goal line. One of the Ole Miss defenders just shoved him in the back, but he had already scored by then. What a move by Gunner Stockton on the play fake. And then to deke the man, that was Uman Mielen that had come into the backfield, and Gunner just made him look silly as he ran right by him. Touchdown, Georgia, and the Dogs are back in front.
Ran right by him, Scott, because what a play design from Mike Bobo. You had a heavy set to the right side of your offensive line. Monroe Freeland comes over and lines up at the tight end position on the right side. Elias Williams is then your backside, quote-unquote, left tackle. No one thinks that the quarterback's going to pull it and keep it in that situation around the backside. Great play.
7th rushing touchdown of the year for Gunner Stockton, the Dogs quarterback. The point after is good by Woodring. And the back and forth continues here at Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium. It's 17-14 now, Georgia. That Gunner Stockton 22-yard touchdown run brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Georgia Bulldogs. We got another timeout on a sunny day in Athens, and the sun is shining on the Dogs sideline right now. 17-14. Tried to make a juggling catch on the halfback throw in the right corner, and it's incomplete. And there's a flag down also.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1.
Jeez.
By rules, the foul occurred in the end zone. The ball be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Now the second pass interference penalty on Ellis Robinson here on this possession. And as you heard Daniel Gotro, the referee, say that will put the ball down at the 2 for Ole Miss, and that's a 1st and goal. Empty backfield for Trinidad Chambliss. They motion a man in front of him, and he'll take it. Quarterback run straight into the pile, and he may have gotten a yard to the 1. He did. So it's 2nd and goal from the 1 now.
Scott, Ole Miss has both quarterbacks in. That was the man in motion that time was Austin Simmons, the quarterback that started the year for Ole Miss.
This is Simmons going to take the snap this time, too. So Chambliss is out. Nope, both quarterbacks stay in the game, as you just said. And Simmons was standing in front of Chambliss, and I couldn't see the other guy. They snap it back to Chambliss, the quarterback. He just goes straight up the gut and into the end zone for the touchdown on a 1-yard run. Is that Lacey this time? That was Lacey.
Yes, that was the handoff.
I'm all discombobulated here. Lacey was in the backfield with Simmons, who is the number 2 quarterback. So Lane Kiffin mixing up his roster over there in the red zone, and it was Lacey that took a direct snap and ran it into the end zone for the score for the Ole Miss Rebels. Point after try from Carnero. That's good, and back in front goes Ole Miss. This is truly a back-and-forth affair. It's 21-17 now. The Rebels lead with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first half. 1-yard run by Lacey. 11 plays, 75 yards in 5 minutes. Do something in the last 2 minutes here, the second quarter. They trail by 4 on the 29 on second down. A play fake and a throw to the tight end, Delp. He's got it, and off he goes at the 35 to the near sideline 40, up close to midfield, and they chase him out of bounds on a bit of an angle. Oscar Delp at the 48-yard line, chased out there. Delp, the senior from Cumming, Georgia, with a nice catch and run up to the Georgia 48-yard line. And that's a gain of 19 and a first down for the Dogs. Big play there.
Another perfect throw on the upfield shoulder by Gunner.
Frazier in the backfield with Stockton. We slide Humphreys in motion. He lines up on the right just outside the tackle. We hand it to Frazier. He'll run the other way around the left edge over the logo. And jitterbugs into Rebel territory to the 45. Stopped by Whiteett Williams, a transfer from ULM. But he got 7 to the Ole Miss 45-yard line. As we said, neither defense is really doing a whole lot to stop the other team's offense. Chauncey Bowens checks into the ball game. Some fresh legs for the Dogs. Bowens with 4 carries and 28 yards thus far. He's in the pistol, lined up behind Stockton. Gunner, play fake, pump fake, rolls to the right. Now he'll throw, and he'll just throw it away. I think he wanted to go to Delp on the sideline or Branch downfield and was unable to get either the football and just threw it into the Georgia bench incomplete.
Similar play to the previous big play to the throw to the tight end to Delp. Just more defenders for Ole Miss out there in the flats with him. Mindful that Georgia has all 3 timeouts here, so they can take all the full playbook here to be able to put this ball in the end zone with 1 minute and 15 to go.
Cash Jones in the ball game. Offset to Stockton's left on third down. Stockton forced out of the pocket, rolling right, throws on the run, and a catch by Branch. He toe-tapped it and fell out of bounds like a tree falling in the forest right into the Georgia sideline at the 38. Monroe Freeling is shaken up back behind the play for Georgia.
For an offensive play.
Down to the 39. We got 6 yards on that short pass to Branch. He was unable to run after the catch, but he stayed in bounds, made a nice grab, and got the first down. And now training staff checking on Georgia's left tackle, Monroe Freeling. 1:09 remaining in the first half as we watch from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. And Freeling's already playing injured, Josh. As we knew that last week. He was called a game-time decision, didn't start. Then had to come in when Juan Gaston was shaken up. And then he ended up playing the majority of the snaps and was named the conference lineman of the week. Now they help him up, but he's going to kind of walk with a little bit of a limp back towards the sideline on his own. He's not being helped by the training staff, which is good. He's looking around as if he wants to go back in the huddle.
Yeah, he played on 1.5 legs last week and really gutted it out performance. He was emergency use only last week and was an emergency use. So now across that front, we have Gaston at right tackle, Glover right guard, Bobo center, Micah Morris at left guard, and Bo Hughley at left tackle.
And Chauncey Bowens in the backfield with Gunner and 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Dogs with a 1st and 10 on the Ole Miss 39. Hand it to Bowens running right, trying to sweep around the right edge. And Ole Miss defends it well, and they jam it up at the 36, led by their 2 linemen, Eccles and Harris. And Georgia calls a timeout with 60 seconds to go in the first half. Georgia on the Ole Miss 36-yard line. They got almost a full 3 that time on the carry by Bowens. And they used the first of our timeout allotment. We've got 2 left. They put another second on the clock, so 1:01 remaining in the quarter. Ole Miss with a 21-17 lead here as we wind down the first half.
Yeah, and again, full playbook at your disposal here offensively. Need to stay ahead of the chains, obviously here. No negative plays to get yourself behind and put yourself in obvious passing downs. But also, too, the thing about it is Georgia's run the ball effectively so far. And, of course, Monroe Freeling now is checking back in the game at left tackle. He's a tough guy. He's getting back in there. But Georgia has done a really good job running the football here. But also, too, when Gunner's been on the move, scramble drill today has been on point. Very well done by this Georgia offense in that operation so far today.
Nate Frazier, the back. Stockton in the shotgun. Branch in motion in front of the quarterback to the left. Bobo snap back. Play fake. No, they hand it to Frazier. He breaks through the line of scrimmage at left guard and left tackle. Seen some daylight there and runs towards the 30. They're going to tackle him around the 33-yard line. TJ Daughtery and Wyatt Williams, linebacker and the nickelback, make the stop at the 33. It's 3 or 4 yards on the gain, and now it's 3rd and 4. The Dogs are up on the line, ready to go. They snap. Gunner throws. Open in the middle of the field is Lucky, the tight end. He makes the catch, dives inside the 25-yard line to the 24 for the first down and an 8-yard gain.
Great job by Lucky knowing where he was. Get just past the sticks, make the catch, get down.
Clock at 32 and moving. Snap back. Stockton wants to throw. He will. He finds his target, Branch, running it out towards the far sideline. Made the catch, cradled the ball, and sprints out of bounds at the 22. Short gain of 3. Sage Ryan, the safety, in coverage for Ole Miss. Clock stops with 24 seconds left. Dogs still with 2 timeouts, trailing by 4 here as we come towards the end of the second quarter. Ball is on the 21.5 of Ole Miss. Far hash, Dogs moving to the right. They split out of the huddle with 3 receivers to the right, 1 man to the left. Cash Jones in the backfield with Stockton, who operates in the shotgun. There's the snap back. Gunner on the hash. Bounces, now rolls to the right, looking downfield, looking. Ole Miss pursuing, and he'll just throw it away into the bench on this near side. Gunner ran out of space, didn't have anybody open downfield, and he had big Will Eccles in front of him that was shielding him from seeing too much downfield and ends up just dumping the ball off.
Gunner got locked into the right side of the formation that time. Didn't see a Georgia receiver streaking across the left side of the formation in the end zone open.
17 seconds remain. Dogs want to punch one in here before the end of the half. They trail by 4, 21-17. Gunner, quarterback run, takes the snap straight into the line and dives inside the 20 into the Massey Ferguson red zone and down to the 17-yard line. Taj Chambers, the linebacker, made the tackle. And the clock ticks down to 2 seconds, and we use the time, and we'll try for a field goal here as the half is running out. So we're going to try for a field goal. Middle of the field, well within Peyton Woodring's range, as the line of scrimmage is 17-yard line. The ball is housed between the hash marks, so it'll be a middle of the field kick for Woodring from inside the 30-yard line. We'll see where Gunner will hold the football right in front of the goalpost, basically, with 2 seconds left to try to make it a 1-point game. Woodring, who connected earlier in the game on a 51-yarder, 7 of 8 on field goal tries this year. So they'll kneel down on the 25-yard line. It'll be a 35-yard kick, and Ole Miss wants to use a timeout. So as Georgia was getting lined up for the kick, Lane Kiffin says, I'll use one of my time. As he talks to one of the officials over there on the far sideline, even draped his arm around him. Boy, he's working the officials.
He is, yeah. He's trying to do it. Well, of course, he's using one of his timeouts here. He knows that they're not worth the coupon at any kind of fast food restaurant on his way back to Oxford. So got to use them, right? But, the good news is with our guy, that just doesn't really seem to affect him that much.
Ole Miss with 3 touchdowns in the first half. Georgia with 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and trying to add their second field goal here as time will expire in quarter number 2. Just 2 seconds remain. 35-yard try, middle of the field between the hash marks, kicking to the right. Gardner to snap, Gunner to hold, Woodring to kick. And the kick is away, and the execution is good. Perfect. And that's the end of the half as Georgia converts a 35-yard field goal to make it a 21-20 Ole Miss lead at intermission. And with that good kick, the good hands at Allstate will contribute to the Georgia Bulldogs Athletic Scholarship Funds for student athletes across all sports. And Georgia says thank you to Allstate. Well, neither defense came up with any stops. We had 0 punts in that first half. I mean, it was just up and down the field. You have the ball, you get to score. You have the ball, you get to score. The difference is we had 2 field goals. They didn't have any. Ole Miss 21 and Georgia 20 at intermission. That last scoring drive by the Dogs took 2:10 on the clock. It covered 58 yards in 12 plays, and Woodring converts for the second time this season. He's now 8 of 9 on field goal tries this season as he adds a 35-yarder to a 51-yarder today. And coming up in just a matter of seconds, Kirby's going to talk to DJ Shockley. It's brought to you by Zaxby's. Let's go down to the field to Shock.
Coach, you got about 250 yards of offense. What's been key to
receiver? So Wright is in the slot to the left now, the big tight end. Snap it back. Chambliss with time. 4-man rush. He throws to the big tight end down the hash, and it's incomplete. Pass was a little bit low. Down below his waist. He couldn't bend down to make that catch on the run, and it's incomplete down around the 40-yard line.
Low and in traffic. Had the umpire there standing in the middle of the field, but also two Georgia defenders in the area, Scott.
2nd and 10, Ole Miss on the 25. 2 receivers left and 2 to the right. Now the tight end is in the slot to the right. Lacey in the backfield with Chambliss. Now they slide the tight end tight on the right edge. And the quarterback will throw it to the left, and it's caught, and Stribling is off and running over midfield, 40, far sideline 30, 20. He's going to outrun the defense for a long Ole Miss touchdown. 75 yards on the touchdown. It was just a short pass out to the left, but once Dejon Stribling, a senior from Kapolei, Hawaii, got by that first defender, he just out-sprinted everybody else on Georgia's defense to the goal line down the far sideline.
Missed tackles out wide will be the death of you. And that was a missed tackle on the far side by Dalen Everett. And then the next thing you know, it's goalposts for Ole Miss.
A fast response by the Rebels. 14 seconds into the third quarter. They're about to go up by 8 if they convert the extra point. Snap back. Kick is away, and the kick is good, and they do go up by 8. That is their largest lead of the game. 28-20 is our score now on the long 75-yard touchdown run. Well, most of it was on a run. It started with a pass from Chambliss to Stribling. And now Georgia will get the ball the first time in the second half. And still the offenses are dominating today through 2 quarters and 14 seconds. Ole Miss now with 258 total yards of offense. Georgia with 251 as they'll get the ball for the first time here in the third quarter.
That was a living example of one of the things we talked about. Why are we playing soft coverage defensively? It's like, because we really hope to keep the routes underneath us and then drive hard off of the cornerback or the safeties, drive hard off of that into making the tackle. Of course, you got to make the tackle in that scenario, but we didn't there. Big touchdown for Ole Miss.
Rebels will kick it away from left to right. Carnero booms this one into the end zone. It'll bounce over the back line. Branch will walk away and take the touchback. Bulldogs football, Georgia fans, is brought to you in part by Modelo, official import beer of your Georgia Bulldogs. Grab a refreshing Modelo Especial brewed for full-time Bulldogs fans for 21 and up only. Please drink responsibly. Georgia will start on the 25, as Ole Miss did just seconds ago. Rebels with a 28-20 lead. Bowens in the backfield to start the second half. Here comes pressure, and Gunner dumps it off in the right flat to Chauncey. Caught it at the 20, quickly upfield, over the 30, the 35, and twisted down at the 37-yard line by Sage Ryan, the safety. 12-yard gain, Scana Energy first down for the Dogs on the first play, their first play of the second half. On the far hash, Georgia coming to our left. Out of the pistol, hand it to Bowens. Runs straight up the gut. Find a little seam there over the 40, and they wrap him up soundly at the 42, maybe the 43. We'll see where they spot it down. Right on the edge of the logo, middle of the field. They put it on the 43. 6-yard gain for Bowens. Whitehead Williams, the nickelback, made the tackle.
Good vision from Bowens, sticking that up in the A-gap there in the middle of the Georgia offensive line.
Out of the shotgun, Bowens to the left of Gunner. Play fake, Stockton to throw with time, dumps it right flat. Bowen makes the catch, makes a move, makes that first guy miss at the 40, and then dances his way up over the 45 to the 47-yard line. 4 more yards and another Scana Energy first down. Nice jump cut by Chauncey Bowens after he caught that pass in the right flat.
Well, quick read from Gunner there. Saw nothing to his receivers on this near side of the field and just checked it down to Chauncey on the right side of the offensive formation where he had space.
Nate Frazier in the backfield now. We've also got the tight end Elias Williams lined up behind Ernest Green on the right side. He motions for Branch in motion to the near side. Snap back to Gunner, play fake, throw, sideline, going for Elias, the big target, over the head, incomplete, but flags come flying in. Sage Ryan, the safety, at 6 feet and 200.
Defense, number 3. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
He was trying to stay up with the big 6'7", 255-pounder Elias Williams, and they got flagged for pass interference. That'll move the ball into Ole Miss territory now for the Dogs at the Rebel 38-yard line.
It's a mismatch. 6 feet versus 6'7". Scott, I think I'd grab a hold of him too.
Yes, go for a ride. Play fake Gunner. He wants to roll to the right, and he's got a man wide open on the sideline on the far side of the field, and that is Oscar Delp. He was uncovered, and Gunner hit him, and he just kind of lost his balance as he tried to tightrope the sideline, fell out of bounds at the 28-yard line. A gain of 10, another Scana Energy first down. Maybe could have had more, Josh, but it looked like he lost his balance as he's trying to tightrope it.
Absolutely lost his balance. Throw took him a little wide also, too, but good job by Oscar just getting the extra 4 yards with the big fella tightroping.
Frazier to the left of Stockton in the backfield. The Georgia quarterback talks to his back. Now they flip-flop and bring Humphreys in tight. Hand it to Frazier. Hole at left guard. He hits it, finds daylight. And Ole Miss will stop him at the 24-yard line as Frazier hit the hole pretty quick. They spot him at the 23. He got 5, and it was Gushikin and Williams, a couple of their linebackers, that made the stop. Second down for the Dogs, who go quick. They snap it, and Stockton will rear back and fire. And a leaping grab made by London Humphreys inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. A gain of 9 and a Scana Energy first down as the Dogs poke their heads inside the Massey Ferguson red zone at the Rebel 14-yard line.
Our pass catchers are doing an amazing job today, making adjustments on balls that are just a little bit off target from Gunner.
Stockton, 18 of 23 throwing the football this afternoon. Humphreys in motion to the right. Bowens is back in the game, and he'll take the handoff from Gunner. And he'll pick up about 5 yards inside the 10, driving down to the 8.5. He got more than that. He got about 6.
There you go, big boys up front. That's what Shock was talking about. Let's be more physical in our combination blocks. Those are drive blocks. When you're working together, whether it's center guard or guard tackle, those are drive blocks on the down lineman up to the next level.
2nd and 4 for the Dogs, who go over 100 yards in rushing here in the second half, well, for the game. As the Dogs will operate out of the pistol here. Bowens behind Gunner. He's got Noah Thomas to the right, and he's got Dylan Bell to the left. They're going to run it. A little power football. Bowens cuts at left tackle, back inside, running between the hash marks, and tackled at the 4-yard line. Just running it, taking chunks of yardage with him straight up the field. Nothing fancy about that. 4-yard gain as Perkins hit him first. Suntarian Perkins, the first guy to him, as Bowens picks up the first down inside the 5. So it's goal to go from the Ole Miss 3.5-yard line.
Oscar needed to charge some money for the ride that he took that linebacker on that block.
I formation, McCray the full and Frazier the tail will fake the toss, and Gunner will throw it into the end zone. Tight end touchdown. Lawson Lucky backpedaling over the back line after he caught it. Right under the goal post on the right edge. Lawson Lucky with the score, and the Dogs look like they want to go for 2. 10 minutes and 2 seconds in the third as Georgia answers quickly. Again, not much defensive stoppage today. Both teams just racking up yards, converting on third down and moving the football. That Georgia touchdown brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia will go for 2 here to try to tie the game at 28. Ball's on the near hash on the 3. Georgia working to the west end zone. 2-point conversion try. Cash Jones motions out, then back in, now back out to the right flat. Gunner to throw, pump fakes, pulls it down, spins out of the pocket, being chased. Got a block behind him. They're going to drag him down at the 10. Didn't get enough of a block, as Suntarian Perkins was the guy that caught Gunner before he got a full head of steam running to the right side. So the 2-point conversion fails.
Covered sack that time from Ole Miss. Nobody open in the end zone on the 2-point try.
28-26 is our new score now with a timeout here. 10:02 to go in the third quarter. Our second half today brought to you by First Franklin Financial, serving our neighbors since 1941. Dogs within 2. It's Ole Miss 28 and Georgia 26 on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Man, that ball was placed perfectly, and Alexander caught it right over the top of the defenders on the Ole Miss sideline.
Pass interference. Defense, number 15. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
That's at least 3 of those that we've had today, penalty-wise.
Scott, you got to get your head around to play the football, right? Yeah. You're to the wide side. You're going to be in man coverage with a little bit of inside support from the safety. You see KJ Bolden has been in that role all day long. You got to turn around and get your head in the ball, see the ball. 27-yard gain on a brilliant one-handed leaping catch as we looked at the replay by Deuce Alexander. That was brilliant. 1st and 10 Ole Miss. They lead by 2, and they're on the move again. They'll try to run it at an end around to Watkins around the left side on friendly territory on the north side of the field, and the Dogs stretch it out to the sideline and stop that play at the 34-yard line with Aguero, the nickel junior from Lynn, Massachusetts, making the stop at the 34. The gain is 4. Ole Miss now looking at 2nd and 6 in Bulldogs territory. Lacey lined up behind Chambliss in the pistol. Overloaded to the right with receivers. Now they run a man in motion. Chambliss going to play fake it and keep it. The Ole Miss quarterback belted as he runs out of bounds on an angle towards the first down marker. At the 30-yard line, we shoved him into the boundary. Chased him out with C.J. Allen. He's going to be short by a little bit. 3rd and 2. 3rd and a little less than 2, actually. At the 30-yard line, he got 4 yards. Dogs substitute, bring in a couple of fresh bodies on defense. Quintavious Johnson and Joseph Ajonia. And we take Gabe Harris and Chris Jones out.
7:20, third quarter, clock moving. Ole Miss with a 2-point lead, looking for more. They're on the 30 of Georgia. Handoff running straight ahead. Big Lacey, second leading rusher in the SEC. Did not get it. Jammed up at the 30. Running right down the hash. Straight ahead. And we stopped him at the 30 with Wilson, Allen, and Johnson, our linebackers. It's fourth down. Fourth and about a yard and a half. Ole Miss wants to go for it. 6:50 and the clock moving, and the noise is deafening on that end of the field. Lacey, as they go Wildcat, Chambliss to the left of Lacey, who's lined up to take the direct snap. He'll hand it to the quarterback, who fakes the end around. Now will keep it and run to the right with the ball in his hand like a loaf of bread. He's going to get the first down easily, and veers out of bounds at the 13 on the near sideline. He got 17 on that play.
A little bit of trickeration, created some mismatches there. The direct snap to the running back made you think that they were going to run a true Wildcat, but then he just absolutely just flips it to Chambliss. And then, of course, the Dogs are in pass defense at that point in time. No chance for us to get him on the ground. There's Josh Horton in pursuit.
We take out some big bodies. Their tongues might be hanging out, and we replace them with fresh ones. Chambliss back in the shotgun. Ole Miss on the Georgia 13-yard line. 1st and 10. Quarterback keeper. He jitterbugs off the left side of the line of scrimmage. Not much there. The Dogs jammed it up pretty good with Jonah Ojonia and Jonel Aguero. And Chambliss is preventing from getting much of anything. Looks like they may give him a yard to the 12. 2nd down and 9. Ole Miss with a 2-point lead, looking for more. We haven't stopped them all day, but they haven't stopped us either. But we have kicked 2 field goals, and that's really the difference. And we've missed a 2-point conversion to try to tie the game moments ago. Chambliss to throw it. He darts one inside the 5. It's caught. We wrap him up. They've got a big lineman trying to drive the pile inside the 5. Whistles blow. Maybe at the 3 is where they'll spot the ball way down to the far right end of the field. And that was Harrison Wallace, who they targeted and completed that pass to, a senior from Montgomery, Alabama, and a transfer from Penn State. It's going to be goal to go on the 2. Ole Miss trying to get in the end zone again. They will run it and will not get in the end zone this time at right tackle. We just shoved Lacey back on his backside at the 3. That was Elijah Griffin, and Chris Cole on the stop as they close that gap in a hurry. No gain on the play for Ole Miss. Second and goal from the 2.
Jonah Ojonia with great penetration, too, slowing Lacey up.
How about a turnover, Ole Miss? You've had problems with that all season long. Hasn't really reared its head at all today. They have fumbled it once, but they recovered it. Snap it to Chambliss, and he'll try to run it in straight down the hash. He danced side to side, and he got in there, broke the plane, and that's a touchdown in the pile. So Chambliss able to get the ball over the goal line, and that adds 6 more for Ole Miss. And they lead it now 34-26, and we'll try to go up by 9 with a point after.
Chambliss just patiently waited for the smallest of openings to be able to get across that goal line, and it appears he did.
2-yard touchdown run. The officials are holding up the extra point try while replay takes a look at it. And we'll take a look at it on our monitor as well. Looks like his knees were down just inside the 1, but I think the ball was
touchdown
across the plane at that time.
Is under video review.
Well, they're going to actually review it officially. And the play is under review, as you heard Daniel Gautreaux, the referee, announce. So that means Pruitt Health will bring you this review, where family makes us stronger, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. First review we've had today. Well, we had a bunch last week, didn't we? Dogs break the huddle. Now flip-flop some personnel. 2 tight ends on this near side, along with London Humphreys, and big Josh McCray is in the backfield. He'll get the handoff for his first carry of the game. He rambles to the 30-yard line, angling outside left tackle, running this way on the near side for 5 yards. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Dogs.
First carry of first snap of the game for McCray. Good to see him in there. Of course, running to the edges of the offense. Don't see that too often either.
Dogs have rushed for 124 yards as a team today. Branch in motion. Now he reverses back to the right. And we hand it off to Big McCray. He's got fresh legs and power, and he drives straight ahead between the tackles for 5 more to the 35-yard line. He just crashes in there. I mean, he's like another offensive lineman. He runs with such force. After 2 carries, he'll come out of the ball game, however, as the Dogs pick up the first down on that second run by McCray. Clock ticking at 3:12. Frazier in the game now in the backfield. Nate this afternoon, 8 carries on 35 yards. Bell in motion to the right. Play fake to Frazier. Gunner with time wants to throw. Now he pulls it down and runs up the hash, and they yank him down from behind at the 39-yard line and may pull him back another yard at 38, according to the spot from the lineman. Jamarius Brown, the defensive tackle, makes the stop at the 38, a 3-yard gain by the Georgia quarterback.
Positive play on first down there, keeping the Dogs ahead of the chains. Gunner not seeing anything downfield, pulling down, just running a little bit. 2nd and 7, they call it, from our 38. We trot Delp in motion to the right. Shotgun snap. Gunner with pressure. Avoids it. Runs now to the 40, to the sideline. Twisted and spun out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Let's see where they spot him. Near the 45, and that was Suntarian Perkins giving chase for Ole Miss. Looks like they'll spot it at the 44.
Forward and out of bounds. The ball will be brought back to the spot of the fumble. It'll be 3rd down.
So out of the spin, it looked like Gunner coughed it up, I guess, in that crowd of bodies on the near sideline. Didn't see that. We'll look at the replay as they stripped it out of the right arm. And the Dogs get a break there because the fumble occurred on the field of play, but right on the sideline. So they bring it back a smidge and put it at the 42-yard line, or the 43, 42 and a half, let's call it that. Those are the balls almost on the 43. We're going to hand it to big Josh McCray. He dives in there at left guard, goes really low, and Ole Miss squats down on top of him right on the turf shy of the 45-yard line. It's going to be 4th down now and short.
Ole Miss shifted to a Bears front, which means every offensive lineman gets covered up by a defensive lineman or a linebacker. That adjustment there, Georgia did not do a good job of blocking that particular shift from Ole Miss.
4th and about a yard from our 44. We turn and hand it off, and they run across the pile, and Ole Miss thinks they've stopped us. Josh McCray has something else to say about it. He came out on the other side of the pile and got the first down. Ole Miss has a player down. Ole Miss immediately, everybody on the defense held up a fist as a 4th down stop, but McCray got the first down, just barely, at the 45-yard line.
Scott on the 2nd effort, the 3rd effort, then the 4th effort, getting the first down. The big guy just refusing to go down. Of course, we've seen that all season long from him. Short yardage situation is just a horrible guy to try to tackle for opposing defenses.
Ole Miss with an injured player. That's Daughtery, the linebacker, I think. No, it's Franklin, Cam Franklin, the defensive end. 5, not 6. And we've got 63 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter as they stop play briefly. 35-26 is our score. Ole Miss in front. Let's check the Modelo scoreboard. We got Florida leading Mississippi State at the half, 13-7. Texas A&M 7-3 on Arkansas. First quarter score there. Ohio State 27-0 in the 4th on Wisconsin. Indiana on their way to another win apparently. 35-10. They lead Michigan State in the 3rd. Here it's 35-26 Ole Miss. We're back to play. Less than a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Dogs with the ball. 1st and 10 on our 46. Gunner wants to throw one-on-one with Branch. Far side. He caught it on the far sideline around the 30-yard line. Down on the turf at the 28. What a catch by Branch. Covered up by Jalen Braxton, the corner. But that didn't stop Zachariah. He brought that thing in. He is pumped up as he comes to the sideline.
Back shoulder throw from Gunner. Great adjustment in the air from Zach Branch. You never think a guy that's 5'10", 180 would be such a damaging offensive weapon for those 50-50 balls, Scott.
27-yard gain. Dogs 1st and 10 on the Ole Miss 28-yard line. Moving to the left here in the last play of the third quarter. Play fake Gunner. He's off and running. Far sideline. He ran out of space and out of bounds. He goes inside the 20 at the 19, but he gets inside the Massey Ferguson red zone to end the third quarter. Gunner Stockton got 9. It's going to be 2nd and 1 as we go to the final 15 minutes with Georgia trailing by 9, 35-26, but the Dogs are on the move again, looking for more points as we head to the fourth quarter. Timeout at Sanford Stadium. Our second half today is brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Visit 1ffc.com to learn more. Again, the score, Ole Miss 35, Dogs 26.
The air in that third quarter, they only rushed for 30 yards, and they lead it by 9, but the Dogs are threatening inside the Massey Ferguson red zone as we move the ball again. Still haven't been any punts in the game by either side, and the Dogs trying to punch one here and cut into that 9-point deficit. Now we're moving to our right. McCray, the single setback. Stockton under center, turns, stretch, handoff. McCray runs straight, nothing there. Runs to the right, stiff arms the man. They drive him out of bounds along the line of scrimmage. May have lost a yard at the 20 on this near sideline. Andrew Jones and Gushikin with the stop for the Ole Miss defense. They say no gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd and short. Give it to McCray again. He's hitting the backfield, but he just keeps driving. He gets the first down, moves the pile. The linemen jump in and go for a little extra push. And the Dogs get a couple of yards or so. There's a flag now, too. Check that at the line of scrimmage. There's one in the end zone, one on the line of scrimmage at the 20 on the far side of the field.
Defense, 5-yard penalty in the previous spot. The result of the foul is a first down.
So they'll get the first down via the penalty, as you heard referee Daniel Gautreau. 14 and a half minutes remaining, 14:31 to be exact, and the penalty will move the Bulldogs inside the 15-yard line, down to almost the 13.
One-on-one coverage up top with Noah Thomas in the corner.
And Frazier in the backfield. And Branch in motion, but give it to Nate straight ahead. He cuts it left guard down the hash, and he's tripped up at the 6-yard line. He had a full head of steam. And Frazier knocked down around the 6.5 maybe. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Play side linebacker made a touchdown saving tackle for Ole Miss there. Nate Frazier, as you said, Scott, had a full head of steam headed toward that east end zone.
Got 7 on the run. Here's Stockton now inside the 10 in the shotgun. Give it to Nate. Fake it to Nate. Keep it. Gunner's got the ball tucked in his right arm. He runs to the right. He slams on the brakes, tries to cut back outside the numbers at the 5, and tucks inside for another yard to the 4. That's 2 or 3 the hard way, but he got a first down on that run. He didn't get a lot, but he got what he needed. And the Dogs are goal to go inside the Ole Miss 5 at the 3.5. Georgia trails 35-26, trying to change that here on this possession. 2 tight ends to the right. Stockton under center. Drew Bobo ready to snap. Man in motion is Bell. Play fake on the pitch. Will throw it out. Wide open. Frazier left flat. He catches it at the 2 and 3 steps into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia.
Scott, great protection up front that allowed that double move to be able to take place. Ultimately, nowhere to throw the ball in the end zone, but you check down your safety valve, Nate Frazier, wide open for the Dogs in that northeast corner of the field.
One of the Ole Miss defenders tried to close out late, but it was too late as Frazier caught the ball around the 2 or 3, and it was easy 2 or 3 steps into the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. With 12:56 remaining, the Dogs draw closer. We'll try the point after, try to make it a 2-point game again. Peyton Woodring will handle the kicking duties. Snap back, hold, kick, up and good. 35-33 is our new score. That's Georgia touchdown brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Georgia Bulldogs. Timeout, Sanford Stadium. Dogs have revved it up again. It's 35-32. Georgia trails by 2, but we got plenty of time remaining, so come on back. Our second half today brought to you by First Franklin Financial, serving our neighbors.
Corners lined up just a yard across the line of scrimmage across the receivers.
Empty set for Chambliss. Motion man to the right. Chambliss sets up and throws. He has the tight end running down the field, but he misses it, throws it behind him on a short hop. He had big Daquan Wright. It didn't have anybody in his radius for about 4 or 5 yards, but Chambliss couldn't hit him. Incomplete downfield. It's 2nd and 10 for the Rebels.
Gabe Harris was in there causing pressure in the backfield in the peripheral vision of Chambliss.
They put Lacey in the backfield now on 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rebels snap it. Chambliss quick throw. Pass batted down at the line of scrimmage. Back down to the ground. Was that McLeod that got it? Yeah, big Xavier McLeod pawed it down from the line of scrimmage. A deflected pass. And now it's 3rd and 10. And they're in the noisy end of the stadium. How about that in the fourth quarter? 3rd and 10. 12:49. Clock stopped here in the fourth. Ole Miss with a 2-point lead. 3rd down play. Chambliss drops way back to the 12. Now running, and he will throw on the run, and it's broken up, incomplete at the 25. Tried to get it to Stribling, who had a big, long 75-yard touchdown pass earlier in the game. Not there, though. Dogs hold on 3rd down. We're going to have our first punt of the game by either side. You did talk it into existence.
I did speak it into existence, and we're going to get a punt, and we're going to get a punt after a 3-and-out. Great job by the Dogs on defense there.
Stadium rocking now. Here's Oscar Bird from Australia to punt it away. Long high kick taken by Branch on a fair catch. He bends down at the 34-yard line, catches that ball. The Dogs will have it. They'll put him on the 33-yard line. 42-yard punt, no return. Dogs football on our 33.
Well, and Scott, because we've started every offensive drive after a score, this is the best starting field position of the day for this Georgia offense. Just down by 2. They haven't stopped us all day long either. Let's not return the favor. Let's go put this in for 6, boys.
We finally got a service break. Now let's see if we can take advantage of it. 12:37 to play. 35-33. Ole Miss leads Georgia. And we flip it to Bell on a reverse, running this way with Delp blocking. Bell makes a man miss to the 40-45. They grab at his hips, pull him down at the 50-yard line. Quick 17-yard gain. Big first down. Dylan Bell all the way to midfield. Eccles is the guy that had to chase him down downfield. One of their big defensive linemen. He might be winded after that.
Delp downfield blocking also, too. Right tackle, big Ernest Green downfield blocking for Dylan Bell on that end around.
4 receivers in the formation, 2 to each side. Frazier in the backfield with Stockton. They work out of the shotgun from the 50-yard line. Snap it back. Gunner looks left, now over the middle, and throws and hits Delp at the 45. He is tackled right there where he catches it and falls forward to the 44. Andrew Jones, a Grambling transfer, made the tackle, a senior linebacker. 6-yard pickup for the Dogs to the Ole Miss 44-yard line. Second down and 4.
Middle intermediate pass game been on point today for the Dogs offensively.
Frazier in the backfield with Stockton to his left. And motion in Bell tight to the right. And hand it to Nate Frazier. A jump cut at left tackle and positive territory for Nate Frazier as he drives inside the 40-yard line down close to the 36 before he's stopped by Franklin and Williams, the defensive end and the linebacker. It was one jump cut for Nate Frazier, and he had a few more yards down to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 Dogs after a 9-yard run. Bowens is in, lone setback in the pistol. They hand it to Chauncey, and Bowens weaves his way to the right, close to the 30, going to be stopped around the 32, stacked up by Cam Franklin, the sophomore defensive end, who's made a lot of tackles for the Ole Miss defense today. Ole Miss defense, hands on hips for many of them right now, trying to get a breath. Clock is moving at 10.5, and Georgia's on the move. At the 32-yard line, that was a 3-yard gain for Bowens. 35-33, Ole Miss by 2. Everybody in tight to the left. Fake the stretch handoff. Gunner sets up with all kinds of time. Nothing downfield. Rolls to his right. Now back to the left. He's got a lot of running space. Here goes Gunner to the 30. He tripped up middle of the field, falling ahead to the 25-yard line. They got 7. and a first down. Perkins is the guy that tripped him up. He ran all the way to the right. Nothing was open downfield. He ran back to the left. He just had a wall of blocking, but he cut down inside the hash marks and got 7. Micah Morris with a block to help him get that 7 yards on the left side. Dogs 1st and 10 on the Ole Miss 25. Out of the pistol, hand it to Frazier. Frazier tries to sprint for the left corner, can't get there. Ole Miss gets there first. Andrew Jones, the linebacker, leading the charge. He makes the stop, and Frazier stopped at the 25 for no gain.
Left side of that offensive line, unable to get off their combination blocks up to the second level there. Couldn't get there, couldn't get enough on him before the linebacker shot through and got Frazier.
Frazier now 50 yards on 11 carries. Stockton's our leading rusher today, 61 on 9. Frazier stays in the game in the backfield. 2 receivers stacked to the left. Now they bring a man in motion, 1 to the right. That's Branch in motion to the right side. Gunner wants to throw it to Branch. He's open right flat, caught at the 22. Sidesteps a man at the 17. In the air, knocked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. He broke the tackle of Chris Graves, or made him miss, and then Gushikin is the guy that knocked him out of bounds, but it's a first down for the Dogs at the 12. Georgia in the Massey Ferguson red zone. Massey Ferguson, born to farm, built to perform, and the Dogs are performing right now. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line after a 13-yard pickup. Frazier motions back into the backfield. Now Stockton moves him around to his left, works out of the shotgun. Handed off to Nate Frazier. He's going to do the work inside, right down the hash. Jump cut inside the 10 and down to the 8. They may put it on the 7-yard line when they unstack everybody, and they do. Down to the 7, 6 more yards for Nate Frazier. Georgia's offense is on the move, trying to take the lead here with less than 8 minutes to go.
Physical wham block from Oscar Delp that time, moving from the left side of Georgia's formation to the right side and taking on the linebacker one-on-one.
Bowen's in the game now in the backfield. Humphrey in motion, lines up to the right behind the tight end Delp. Play fake, Bowens throw it across the goal line in the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Touchdown, Lucky! Lawson Lucky with his 3rd touchdown catch of the day. He beats Sage Ryan, the safety, on a dart by Gunner. And the Dogs have the lead, 39-35 with 7:29 to go.
Good read on the RPO from Gunner. Put it in the running back's belly, but then pulled it out because he saw inside leverage from his big tight end. Lawson Lucky there for his 2nd touchdown of the day. Awesome throw and catch.
Dogs retake the lead for the first time in a while. And here's the extra point from Peyton Woodring to try to make it a 40-35 game. Snap. Hold, kick, good. He remains perfect in his career on extra points. Georgia by 5 with 7:29 to go. It's far from over. 40-35. That 3rd Lawson Lucky touchdown of the afternoon brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Georgia Bulldogs. Timeout between the hedges. Second half today brought to you by First Franklin Financial, serving our neighbors since 1941. Dogs 40, Rebels 35 on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Is jumping. Scoreboard says get loud. That's no problem. Everybody on their feet for the most part here in striped out Sanford Stadium. Black, white, and red. From the 25-yard line, Ole Miss has the football. 1st and 10. Chambliss in the shotgun with Lacey to his right. Play fake. Sets up and throws to Lacey in the near flat. Caught at the 21, and we belt him around the 25. He caught it behind the line. Didn't get a whole lot of positive yards. Quintavious Johnson was on duty on that side of the field and made the hit at about the 25 and a half. They'll give him a yard to the 26, 2nd and 9. Ole Miss ready to move again. They trail by 5 with 7 minutes remaining in the game. Shotgun snap. Here it comes. Play fake to Lacey. Sets up. 4-man rush. Throws it to Lacey. And the left flat off his hands and incomplete. He was unguarded. He had a tight end blocking in front of him, but he didn't make the catch behind the line. Just bounced right off his hands into the sideline. Incomplete. It's 3rd and 9.
An incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down.
Quintavious Johnson had pressure, made Chambliss throw it a little too quick and definitely too hard for his running back.
6:51 remaining. Clock stopped with the incomplete pass. 3rd down and 9. Here comes pressure. Chambliss going deep. One-on-one coverage and incomplete. Around the 50-yard line, Dogs had a man covering DeMello Jones down there deep. They wanted Harrison Wallace on the fly route, but broken up or dropped around the 45 or 50-yard line. And for the second consecutive time, Ole Miss will go 3 and out and have to punt it away.
Pocket started to collapse on Chambliss, but also, too, Scott, the emergence of DeMello Jones since the second half of Tennessee, just been a tremendous player for Georgia.
Here's Bird to punt it away for the second time for Ole Miss. And Branch lets it bounce. It was right on the sideline, took a right turn and stayed in bounds, and he got about an extra 14-yard on the kick and roll down to the 10, and that's where Ole Miss will down the football. 64 yards with that extra bounce and roll. And the Dogs have it on the 10, and we've got a timeout with 6:32 to go. Can we do what we did at Auburn last week and just grind it out? Back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Sanford Stadium. Georgia with a 5-point lead, 40-35 on 5th-ranked Ole Miss with 6:32 to play. Georgia will start after the punt on our own 10-yard line. Ball's on the near hash. Georgia trying to get it off the goal line there, so to speak, and move to the right. Gunnar Stockton with 4 touchdown passes today. He's perfect in the second half, 10 for 10 on his pass attempts. Frazier's in the backfield, work out of the shotgun, hand it to Nate Frazier. He starts right, cuts back left on the move, pushes it forward right up the hash mark across the 15, almost the 17-yard line. Antonio Kite, a 2-time transfer in the SEC, makes the tackle. Kite also from Auburn and Alabama, his 3rd SEC school is Ole Miss. Up to the 17-yard line, a gain of 7 for the Bulldogs. 2 receivers on the right side. It's the short side of the field for Gunnar Stockton. Frazier to the right of the quarterback. Out of the shotgun, hand it to Nate again. Finds some daylight at left guard. He just cut right around Drew Bobo between Micah Morris and stuck his nose and his helmet and his face mask all up in there to the 20-yard line, and he gets the first down. He got 3 and a first.
Man, Ole Miss tried to bring a run blitz right there, but they ran into the Gaston wall. That joker just absolutely planted that Ole Miss defender.
Chauncey Bowen's in the game, and that is a big wall. It's 6'7" and 360. And it's at right tackle right now for the Dogs. Clock is moving, 5:20. Both teams have all their timeouts remaining. 2 tight ends and a receiver in tight to the left. Out of the pistol, Bowens play fake and blitz pressure by Ole Miss, and they're going to get Stockton for a loss. Xavier Harris came sprinting in. The big senior at 6'8", gets the second sack of the game for Ole Miss. And Stockton down at the 18-yard line, a loss of 2. He almost blew up the play fake. Looked like Gunnar was going to hand it to Bowens, and he kept it, and then that's when he got dropped for a 2-yard loss. So it's 2nd and 12 now. Dogs behind the sticks. Clock still moving. 4:37, 4:36. Dogs snap it. Stockton to throw. One-on-one, far sideline. And caught! Brilliant catch! Dylan Bell. Who else? Way in Ole Miss territory at the 46-yard line. Ricky Fletcher made the tackle, but he's the guy that got beat. Dylan Bell just toe-tagged him. What a brilliant catch by Dylan.
And another perfect throw from Gunnar. He had Fletcher draped all over Dylan Bell. That's been pass interference on us all day. That should have been pass interference on them, but it didn't matter. Another perfectly thrown football from Gunnar Stockton. Great catch, Dylan Bell.
Huge 37-yard gain. Clock ticks under 4 minutes. Dogs in plus territory on the Ole Miss 46. Single setback is Bowens. Gunnar's gone under center, turns and tosses. A sweep to Bowens. Chauncey to the 40. Jumps over a man on the ground, and they hit him in the air and knock him out of bounds into the Georgia sideline. around the 36, maybe the 37 on this near side. Jones and Williams make the stop for the Ole Miss Rebels. Clock still running. 3:32, 31 on the move, and Georgia's on the move at the Ole Miss 36-yard line. We got 10 right there. Not quite a full 10. It's second down in inches for the Dogs. Georgia takes its time in the huddle. Play clock at 13. We break out. 3 receivers left. Chauncey flip-flops around Stockton in the backfield to his right now. Snap back. He'll throw it to Branch, open, a lot of running room, 35, 32, and they close in nicely. Ole Miss defense. They sprinted to the finish of that play, but Branch gets the first down, and they chase him out of bounds across the way in the Ole Miss sideline at the 31-yard line. He got 5 yards. 8th catch of the game for Zachariah Branch. And Stockton still hasn't missed in the second half.
Well, Gunner just using that play as an extended handoff. When the numbers are like they were, you had more numbers for Georgia offensively to the left side of our formation. Let's just throw it out there and let Branch make a good play.
1st and 10 Dogs on the Ole Miss 31-yard line, leading by 5, trying to secure this thing. Less than 3 minutes to go. We hand it off Frazier. He runs to the right. He makes 2 men miss. He cuts back across the green and dives straight ahead inside the 30, down close to the 25. They're going to bring it back a little bit, though. 27 and a half and a timeout. Ole Miss calls a time before the 2-minute timeout, stopping the clock at 2:16, and the Dogs are on the move. On the 28-yard line, that run officially at 3 yards for Nate Frazier. And Ole Miss stops the clock, and they put 3 seconds back on the clock and leave it at 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. Georgia 40, Ole Miss 35.
Scott, we're going to pull back at these numbers once this game's over this week, and I'm going to go back and look and see what was our yardage gain on first down today. I feel like on first down, we have absolutely dominated that down. You just saw it there. A little bitty run, right? Nate Frazier's running to the right, nothing there, slams on the brakes, but gets 3 or 4 yards, which, by the way, on first down, 3 or 4 yards, that's a win. That's what I mean when we say success on first and second down makes third down conversion so easy.
Georgia over 500 total yards in the game, 509. We rushed for 220 and thrown for 289. Stockton 26 of 31 today for 289 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. 2:19 to go in the game. 2nd and 7 from the 28 for the Dogs. We're going to hand it to Frazier. Frazier at right tackle, down the hash, following a lineman into the hole, and he's going to be stopped inside the 25 at the 24. He got almost a full 4 yards.
Ole Miss, it is their second. It will be 30 seconds.
2 linemen made the tackle that time, Cam Franklin and Jamarius Brown, to stop the clock on the timeout. They put another second back on it, and the clock at 2:14. Ole Miss has 1 timeout remaining, and we'll have a timeout at the 2-minute mark. Georgia trying to secure this thing. They lead by 5, 40-35. Started this possession at the 10-yard line. 9th play of the drive coming up. We've covered 66 yards so far and taken 4:20 off the clock. Georgia did it at Auburn last week. 8 minutes and 45 seconds, tying for the longest drive time-wise in school history. And they punched it in at the end of it with an exclamation point on a 10-yard touchdown run by Gunner Stockton. Trying to do it again tonight. Stockton in the shotgun, actually the pistol now with Frazier behind him. We flip-flop 3 tight ends now. Riddell joins Lucky and Delp on the left side. Handed off to Frazier. They run that way. He's got blocking. Oh, Ole Miss closes it nicely. And they wrap up Frazier as he cuts through the hole at the 23. That's Andrew Jones. The senior linebackers had a pretty good game for the Rebels. He's made a lot of tackles.
He's made a lot of tackles just like that. Us not being able to get up on the second level to be able to get that corner pinned. Good job that time by Dontrell Glover pulling around. You just had Jaden Riddell slip off his block a little too soon. And, Scott, you've heard me say this kind of every game this season. You can't run past color, right? You can't run past the opposing team defensively, whether that's your guy to block or not. If he's crossing your face, you got to block him. And the young tight end right there, let him go.
Looked like on the replay, too, that Frazier got to the 23, but they've actually spotted the ball on the 24. I'm not sure that's a great spot. But that brings up 4th down now, 4th and 2 with 2:09 to go. And we send on the field goal unit. So it's a 5-point lead, 3 more here. Well, you could do the math. It would be 8. Ball's on the far hash. Woodring will try a field goal here, kicking to the right. This should be about a 42-yard try. To go up 8 with 2:09 remaining. Woodring has made both of his attempts today, trying to go 3 for 3. 42-yard try. Bo Gardner to snap. Gunner to hold. Peyton to kick. Kick is away towards the uprights. And good! And good! Peyton Woodring with a 42-yarder to put Georgia up 43-35.
Scott, that was a low snap handled well by Gunner Stockton. That ball was on the ground when it got to Stockton. And the old baseball player in and put that right on the tee just perfectly, even though they're really hitting the tee there. But he put it right on perfect tee for Woodring to hit it.
Good hands from Gunner Stockton, and with that good kick, the good hands at Allstate will contribute to the Georgia Bulldogs Athletic Scholarship Funds for student athletes across all sports. Thank you to Allstate. 2:06 to go, 4th quarter. Georgia now 43, Ole Miss 35 is Georgia's largest lead of the game. 8 points, and we'll kick it back to the Rebels here. A reminder that Bulldogs football brought to you in part by Piedmont Healthcare, offers you exceptional hassle-free care closer to home. Piedmont, the official healthcare provider of UGA Athletics. 10-play drive from our own 10-yard line. 66 yards in 4 minutes and 27 seconds. And Woodring good from 42 yards to put the Dogs up 8. Woodring to kick it away from left to right. And he hits it low, and it squibs. A high bounce at the 10, taken by Hartrup. And Hartrup up the numbers and hit as he crosses the 25, or the 20-yard line, up close to the 25, and stopped. Looks like they're going to spot him back around the 23-yard line or so, and we've got a timeout at the 2-minute mark. That was Justin Williams that made the hit on the kick return. I think that's the first one they've tried to return today. We've got a time here in Athens. 2 minutes to go. Georgia leads Ole Miss by 8. It's the Dogs 43, Farms. 2 minutes to go in the game. Georgia with an 8-point lead. The defense is on the field. 1st and 10 Rebels from their own 23-yard line.
Elo Mendozi in to rush the passer for Georgia with some of his first meaningful snaps of the day today.
We got Harris standing upright on the right side, and Mendozi on the left side. Now we shift the lineman. Horton in the middle, and Ole Miss will run it, and they've got a little seam there. Quickly up across the 30-yard line goes Kewan Lacey for a quick burst and a first down up to the 35-yard line, a 12-yard pickup. Clock at 1:50. Ole Miss has no timeouts remaining. Chambliss to throw over the middle. Low, can't scoop it up. The tight end, Daquan Wright. He tumbled to the turf at the Georgia 49, trying to bend over and scoop it off the grass. Couldn't get it. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Clock stops with 1:44 to go. 2nd and 10 for the Rebels on their own 35-yard line. Georgia with an 8-point lead, trying to hang on here. Chambliss in the shotgun, one back to his left in the backfield. They snap it back. Chambliss with a 4-man rush. One guy falls at his feet. That was Harris. He turns and spins, rolls out of the pocket, throws it into the sideline, incomplete on the far side of the field. Gabe Harris almost got him and stumbled at his feet. Chambliss was able to roll away from that, but he backpedaled way inside the 20 to throw it, and he tossed it incomplete, trying to find Deuce Alexander on the sideline. He was not successful. It's 3rd and 10 for the Rebels. Josh Horton had good pressure on the other side on the pass rush. Noise is loud on the east end of the field. Dogs moving around on defense. Mendozi now lined up on the right side. 3rd and 10. Chambliss drops back, pressure closing in on the pocket. Oh, almost intercepted on the throw over the middle, up the hash. Dalen Everett had it hit him in the hands, and he dropped it at the 48, trying to go again to Deuce Alexander.
Scott, Georgia made an adjustment defensively, went man coverage right there. They've been in zone all day long to stop the big play of Ole Miss, but they went man coverage there. That definitely confused the young quarterback.
Here's match point number 1. This is the ball game if Ole Miss doesn't convert. 4th and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Snap back, Chambliss to throw. Pass is batted up in the air. Incomplete. Horton knocked it down at the line of scrimmage. Dogs are going to win the game. Big Josh Horton is framed 6'4" and 305. The arms extended. He's celebrating with Jordan Hall right now. A little chest bumping going on the field. They knocked it down. Ole Miss denied again. Their last 3 possessions, they went 3 and out, and turnover on downs. 1:28 remains. They've got no timeouts and no way to stop the clock. And the Dogs just have to take a beautiful knee and win the game.
And Scott, there's been our quarterback pressure we've been asking for all season long. The last 3 offensive possessions for Ole Miss. Georgia just in the backfield in Chambliss's face.
Gunner takes the snap, takes the knee, and the countdown begins. Well, Kirby wasn't too far off the mark at halftime. We start playing in the second half. Well, certainly the defense showed up in the fourth quarter. Georgia outscoring Ole Miss in the fourth 17-0 and giving up virtually nothing to the Ole Miss offense, which had its way with Georgia for most of the game, just possession after possession, touchdown after touchdown. But the Dogs are going to win the game tonight. Less than a minute to go. The Dogs will take another knee here. Let the clock run down a little bit more, and then one more snap will do it. Ole Miss can't stop the clock. They snap it to Gunner. 42 seconds remaining. We need to snap it one more time. Don't run on the field yet. One more time. Clock at 35. We snap it once again, and that will be it. And Georgia will improve to 6-1 and 4-1 in the SEC. There's the snap, there's the knee, and there's the game. Georgia will win, knocking off 5th-ranked Ole Miss as the former colleagues and friends Lane Kiffin and Kirby Smart meet at the middle of the field, surrounded by bodies right now and cameras and microphones and Georgia State patrolmen. And the clock hits 0, and Georgia is a winner tonight, 43-35. They knock off the number 5 team in the country. Kirby Smart's teams now 8-0 on their home field against top 10 competition. Dogs a winner, 43-35. Ole Miss with the loss, their first of the season. They're now 6-1 and 3-1 in the SEC. Georgia is off next Saturday to get ready for the Florida Gators in Jacksonville in 2 weeks. Final score from Athens tonight, and it's a sweet one. Georgia 43, Ole Miss 35. Stay tuned. Our post-game coverage is straight ahead on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Gunner Stockton, quarterback of the Georgia Bulldogs.
And I'm Ken Nugent, proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs and Georgia's favorite personal injury attorney.
This season, Ken and I are teaming up to make our touchdowns count even more.
That's right. For every touchdown the Dogs score this year, I'm donating $200 to the Boys and Girls Club here in Athens.
It's about giving back to the kids in our community, and that's something we can all cheer for.
And remember, big hits don't only happen between the hedges.
May I? One call, that's all.
Hey, that was pretty good. One call, that's all.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Georgia Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
When the Dogs are bringing the thunder on the field, make sure your roof can handle it off the field. Roof. Arc Roofing, the trusted roofer of Bulldog Nation, has your home covered from kickoff to final whistle. Whether it's leaks, damage, or a full roof replacement, we bring championship level service every time. Find us on Facebook at Arc Roofing and schedule your free estimate today. Arc Roofing, built strong for the dog fans who never back down. Go Dogs! Whether you're tailgating in Athens or camping under the stars, Campers Inn RV of Byron has you covered. Family owned since 1966, we've got fifth wheels, travel trailers, and motorhomes, including Class A, B, and C models. Plus, the largest selection of Grand Design, Tiffin motorhomes, and Forest River RVs in Middle Georgia. So, Bulldog fans, make your road trips legendary. Visit Campers Inn RV of Byron off exit 149 just east of the interstate. Campers Inn RV, where Dog Nation hits the road.
This is Georgia Bulldogs football on the Superstations. On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Welcome to the Locker Room Report, presented by Regions and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Today's show is brought to you in part by Regions. Get the Georgia Bulldogs Regions Visa Debit Card or prepaid Regions Now card. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Drive sober. Don't get pulled over. Hoffman Financial Group, helping build your financial dynasty. And by Hotel Indigo, Athens' only downtown boutique hotel. Now back to the Piedmont Healthcare broadcast booth. Once again, here's Neil Hondo Williamson.
Well, if there was any doubt, he can remove it now. We are alive and kicking, baby, for a playoff spot, for a look in the SEC National Championship game now that Ole Miss has a loss and we have the tiebreaker on them. Whole lot of good stuff there for the Dogs. Whole lot of good stuff as Georgia just manhandles Mississippi here in the second half. Dogs come away 43-35.
Well, beyond the earth, beyond all things that gave us birth, we'll navigate the seas of the sun. If God is throwing dice and Einstein doesn't mind the chance, we'll navigate the seas of the sun. Infinity runs deep, eternity that we can keep. We'll navigate the seas of the sun. Flowers of our souls, purple, blue, and gold refined to navigate the seas of the sun. So we know who we are, even in this frozen waste. We'll navigate the seas of the sun, living in this place, staring into space with fire.
Navigators, quick throw. Mitchell makes the catch. He breaks away. 30, 25, 20. Veers inside. 10 breaks the tackle. 5 breaks another one. Touchdown!